back to Dan's Bar. Congratulations, you made it to Christmas morning. So now you need a Christmas morning beverage, obviously. I have been playing around with which ones to make. I was going to do an eggnog, but those either require heavy cream, which I don't have, or making on the stove, which I'm not going to do. I was going to do a coffee one, but I don't really want to have coffee when I'm recording this right now. And that's actually really easy. Just coffee martinis, coffee, vodka, maybe some Kahlua or Mr. Black. Super easy. But I thought, what about something different? Something that was a little bit more weird. And so a friend sent me this drink, which is called the Fade to Black. And it is an ounce of Amaro, an ounce of Mezcal, half an ounce of an overproof rum, half an ounce of an agave nectar. Mix that up with some bitters, salt, and a whole egg. Get that shaken up, then get it cold, and then put that in a glass with beer. Seems really, really weird, which of course means that I have to try it. So we're gonna do this in real time, and it's gonna see how we're gonna see how it turns out. So we're gonna find out as we go. So we are gonna do 1 ounce of an Amaro. I think it's gonna be almost like a really rich, bitter eggnog with a little bit of sweetness to it. I think it's gonna be more like that. So I think it's gonna be really good, kind of eggnog-y, which is what I'm going for, because it has a whole egg in it, which I have not done cocktails with a whole egg in before. See how that turns out. 1 ounce of a Mezcal. So clearly we do have at least a little bit of a medicinal quality going on here, because Amaro is kind of bitter and herby. Mezcal is smoky and strong. There's a lot of things going on here. It's gonna be very interesting. We're gonna do half an ounce of an overproof rum. I'm using the Kraken, which clearly I don't use very frequently. Any kind of heavy Jamaican rum would do well. Half an ounce of that, and I'm gonna do that with half an ounce of our agave nectar. I think it needs that sweetness just to counteract the bitterness of the other two things that are going into it. So I'm measuring out about half an ounce of that. I'm going to throw all that in as well. So we have our liquors that are in, and our agave nectar is slowly coming off there. Good enough. We're gonna do our whole egg. I'm using a fairly small egg, but we are indeed gonna be doing whole egg, not getting any shell in there. Make sure your eggs are fresh. We don't want any incidents to happen. So we have 1 egg. We're gonna do a pinch of salt from my little salt cellar here. Hopefully that wasn't too large of a pinch. We'll find out. And now if you have a chipotle bitter, definitely use that. I don't, so I'm using a smoked chili bitter and a little bit of what I think is gonna be a little bit festive, which is a cedar and something else bitter. Cedar and clove. So I think this is going to add a little bit more festiviness to the drink, because I am kind of having it as a Christmas morning, something that looks a little bit like coffee that you might be able to pass off as coffee, but has your little adult kick to it. So we are going to do a dry shake. So just these things together in the cocktail shaker, no ice yet. Then we're going to do it with ice. Then we're going to put it in a glass with beer on top. It's going to be interesting. We'll go from there. All right, shaken and dry. Okay, 30 seconds dry. Looking good and foamy. We're gonna add in a bunch of ice. And then we're gonna carry on shaking. Okay, shaking part 2. Okay, we are shaken. And hissing. No longer hissing? No longer hissing. Okay, we're done hissing. So we are shaken, we are foamy. Ooh. Okay, this is looking good. I'm gonna clear out a little space here so we can have a little bit of room to work. Leave that out. So now we have a cocktail that, I'm gonna go ahead and put this in here. I don't know what the appropriate glass for this is gonna be. I have no idea. It's a really weird one. Maybe a coffee mug for the morning? But we're gonna go ahead and strain this, trying not to make too much of a mess. It looks a little bit like either an eggnog or a coffee from somebody who has added far too much cream. Now, theoretically, this drink is supposed to be topped with Modelo Negro, so a kind of dark beer, but one that's not all that potent and strong. I don't have any Modelo Negra, and I think that adding in something with a little bit more heft behind it could be interesting. So I'm planning on adding Deeth by Currants, but we're gonna try this by itself first. Oh, golly. Deeth by Currants. It is strong enough to support and not be overwhelmed by this. This is a very, very good, very, very dark, very, very strong beer that could easily overpower other things. I don't think it's gonna overpower this, and I'm actually gonna measure this because I'm gonna do about 2 ounces of Deeth by Currants, which is a imperial stout aged with currants. So it's got some heft. I think it's like 14%. So we're gonna get a little stir. Magically we have our stir. Give that a little 1-2, 1-2. Oh, looks like a really, really rich cappuccino. This would be perfect in a coffee cup on Christmas morning if you needed that kind of thing. Holy crap. That might be better than eggnog. It's unbelievably creamy and rich. It's got the fruity notes of the currants, it's got the spicy notes and the smoky notes. It doesn't taste like booze. This tastes like it has no booze in it. That is dangerous. Well, happy Christmas morning. Hopefully everything is going well. All the presents are good and everyone's healthy. And until we drink again, cheers.